Hi, I'm Phillips, European Tour winner and PGA coach, and in today's lesson I'm teaching you the uphill chip. Okay, the uphill chip then, so we're standing on a slope where we're basically gravity is making us feel like we're going to fall backwards away from the target. So we need to make some setup changes there. Now, because we're on a hill, if we were to set up with the weight feeling like we were leaning into the hill, which it can make you want to do because you're sort of fighting the tendency to fall over, the problem with doing that is that we can then get an angle of attack with the club that gets a bit steep, and you're going to literally jam the club into the bank like a knife going into butter, if you like, and it's going to stick. Okay, we don't want that. We want the club to glide up that slope. So it's a good idea to actually tilt your weight with the slope a little bit. Okay, so you want to do it to the degree that you feel your spine is forming the same relationship with the ground that it would do if you were on a flat lie. Okay, so we don't want to tilt the spine so we feel like the spine is leaning way back. So imagine how that spine would feel on a flat lie. Okay, maybe have a teeny bit of tilt in it, and just try and find that same feeling. It's an approximation, okay? There's no way you can get it absolutely millimeter perfect. You've just got to try and feel it. So just try and shift that shoulder line and weight until you feel that you're roughly matching the slope there. And that's going to help your club to glide with the slope and not just jam itself into it when you actually make the swing. Now, ball position wise as well, for that same reason, I'd like you to feel like you get the ball pretty opposite your sternum here, okay? Certainly don't want it behind the sternum. Again, I don't want to encourage a steep blow. I want the blow to be relatively horizontal to the ground. It's going to be a little bit descending, but you know, we definitely don't want it coming in really steep and jamming the club into the ground there. So we're going to tilt the shoulder line. Your weight's going to feel like it goes a little bit more onto your back foot there, maybe 60% on the back leg, and the ball position nice and central. Now, stance width, again, you can play around with this somewhere around shoulder width or a bit narrower there. We certainly wouldn't want to take a huge wide base like a driver, but you know, that's again something that's a bit subjective. There's no one stance that you have to take for these shots. You've got to play around with what feels a bit more comfortable to you. Technique wise, we've got that central ball position now, and I'd urge you to go and watch my how to spin your chip shots video, where I pretty much teach what I call the master chipping action there, where it's a very body oriented action. So I always advocate with most chip shots that we use the big muscles. We get the trunk rotating with the hips and the knees, so we feel the whole body rotates back and through. Don't get overly wristy, okay? A nice soft grip pressure at address will give you a natural amount of club swing if you use those big muscles. So big muscle action, turning the whole torso, hips and knees together back and through. Soft grip pressure, that will give you the right amount of hinge and club swing that we're looking for. Now, I want to talk a little bit about club selection. Because you're on a slope, you're basically on a launch pad, and the ball's going to go much higher than it would on a normal lie. So I go down in loft, okay? I would normally play this shot, it's about 15 yards, and I'd normally play it with my lob wedge if it was a flat lie, but I've gone for my 50-degree wedge now. So I'm using less loft, because when I stand on this slope, effectively I'm adding loft to the club anyway, and I'm going to get a very similar trajectory to the one that I would get with a 60 off a flat lie, okay? It's not confusing. I know it can get confusing, but just when you're tilting this way, just make sure you go for less loft, okay? Because it's going to go a bit higher than normal. So got my 50, made those setup changes. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate now. I'm going to change my weight distribution, as I said, central ball position, using those big muscles to turn the club back and through, hips, knees and chest all moving back and through together. It's then just about feel and practice. You've got to get out there and practice these shots. be pretty pleased with that one, about 2 feet away from the hole. So I just applied those principles. If you apply the same principles, you're going to get similar results if you practice. Get out there. I urge you to put this into practice as fast as you can. I hope you're enjoying these videos. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Head over to my website. I say it in every video because there is a wealth of information on there. It's based on 35 years of my experience, and trust me, I have scoured the earth to seek out the best information for my own game, as it was my living. I was playing this game for a living, so you've got to trust me, this information comes from the highest level and from my personal experience. A lot of stuff that I found out from theoretical coaches I've put into practice and found it wasn't particularly useful. So I've sifted through this stuff, and I'm only giving you the stuff that really works when you've got a card in your hand. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.